Hello and welcome to my channel. We just had our first bout of frost day before yesterday and this morning, so I had to be in at work at 6 this morning and I had to scrape my car, so that was fun. Anyway, people always hate it when winter gets here, the leaves all die off the trees. We don't really have many pine trees here, so it looks quite ugly when winter comes. But it just got me thinking how much I've come to love winter over the past 2 to 3 years. I definitely did not love winter when I was in the army and I'd have to be out at 5 a.m. exercising. And I definitely did not love winter when I lived in Washington State. The winters there are just very wet and cold, like chills you to the bones. And you literally don't see the sun for months. So why I have started not liking summer as much and kind of treasuring winter. So the weather here can be quite extreme. I live in the DC area on the east coast of the United States. It's called the Mid-Atlantic region. We have very hot and humid summers. It's not quite as humid as it is further down south, but it does get into the 90s and 100s, sometimes the late 80s if we're lucky, and just so super humid. And it's just very draining. You go outside and it's just like you're exhausted. But there's just constantly people out, despite how hot it is. Just everybody's hiking, everybody's at the swimming holes, everybody's just doing all these touristy things. And I absolutely hate walking around a city or touring when it's 1,000,000 degrees out. You're just drenched in sweat. I don't know, I'm just tired after. I don't want to do anything. The places are just so overcrowded and you have to put on lots of sunscreen during the summer because the sun is just so intense. It's gross. And then just the crowds, the amount of crowds just really, yeah, everybody's got a right to go out and see stuff, but it's, summers are when all the kids are out of school, so the tour groups will come. I just don't like to go out when there's lots of people. Things are also way overpriced in the summer, and then in the off season, it's like half the price, sometimes even cheaper. And the only place I really want to go in the summer is to the neighborhood pool after work. I've had to travel the past, 3 summers, and it's like, why can't we go during the winter? My work always schedules trips in the middle of summer. So we'll be going to, like, the last year we went to Vietnam and Thailand in the middle of freaking summer. I don't know about you, but I would like to go to a place that's hot and humid in the winter, during our winter when I'm already freezing. It's a nice change. But no, we went during the most expensive time and during the hottest time of the year. I don't think Vietnam and Thailand ever really cool down. So in the winter, it is pretty cold here, right? But it's a dry cold versus Washington's wet cold. So if you layer up, it's fine. It's definitely tolerable. I don't know, the air just feels much more crisp and clean in the winter, and the sun just feels brighter. I don't know. I guess it is pretty bright in the summer too, because it's sun with you. And it clears my head when I go out. Have my hat on, gloves or mittens, hat and a coat. There's far less people out, like I was talking about. I wouldn't say that. So for hiking around here, there's still quite a few people. I usually go to Shenandoah National Park because there are just endless hikes. It's about an hour away from us, maybe 2 hours. There's still lots and lots of people in the winter. We went for our honeymoon last year and stayed in Shenandoah National Park in a cabin, and we took our dogs hiking. It was literally 15 degrees and the trailhead was packed with cars. So that tells you anything. So on this channel, I do a lot of surfing, some skiing, of course, which is only a winter sport, and then some various water sports and things like that. I love to go surfing in the winter. I try not to go surfing in the summer unless I'm traveling, because summers around here, like Virginia Beach or the eastern shore of Delaware or Maryland, are just smashed. They're crazy. And there's nowhere to surf, and I'm also not very good at surfing, so I can't turn well, and I don't want to go out when there's lots of people because I don't want to run over anyone. But there's just mobs with like hundreds of people out in the water. One time I wouldn't say hundreds, I would say over 100 people. We went for Labor Day weekend. I'll link that video up here or down below, and it was just hard. I didn't even get to go surfing. I went boogie boarding pretty much because it was just too many people out. But anyway, if you go surfing in the winter, there definitely are still people out around here, but far less. So I have a 5.4mm winter suit that I wear, and people are always like, oh, you must be freezing, but it's not that bad if you wear the proper wetsuit, the proper gear. That's literally most of the battle. For swimming holes around here, so this is not something I've done very often, but I plan on doing this winter and making some videos about it. But I plan on going to some of the swimming holes up in Shenandoah National Park and some other areas in Virginia. I kind of scouted them out while they're deserted in the winter. So I will be wearing a wetsuit, of course. I have several different wetsuits for various water temps. And I'm bringing my water thermometer that I ordered. This is something that the Brits do. They bring wetsuits to cold water. When my husband and I were visiting the UK this past summer, which I have not edited the videos on yet, but I'll insert a little clip right here. There was a swimming hole we went to, and a lot of the Brits just had their like 3.2 millimeter wetsuits on, and they're having a ball. And I've noticed that about the Brits and other Europeans. They'll just throw on a wetsuit and like, oh yeah, we're gonna go swimming. We're gonna go wild swimming. And I hope that doesn't catch on here. No, I'm just kidding. It really doesn't seem to be a thing here in the US. I haven't really seen many people doing that. In fact, when I lived in Maryland and I'd go out in my wetsuit, like surfing or kayaking or something, people would yell at me and be like, what are you doing? You're gonna get hypothermia. Very nosy people. But yeah, that's something I hope to do more of this winter. I actually want to check out a swimming hole this weekend. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it's only about an hour or hour and a half away, depending on traffic. And the last time I tried to go there, summer before last, there was no parking. There's not, it's kind of like a dirt like pull off where you park and then you get in, and it was kind of too crowded with people. So anyway, that's why I really love winter. We'll see how I feel at the end of this winter. If it snows quite a bit, I am hoping to do more skiing this year. I think I only went once or twice. Yeah, I went twice last year and that was it. The skiing around here sucks. It's nothing like the West Coast. Might be skiing behind cars or something on my little tow rope. Anyway, like and subscribe if you want to see more of those videos, and thank you for watching.